Hello, my dear students of class 12 geography. This is the third video on chapter 2, the world population of fundamentals of human geography, that is book 1. In the previous video of this chapter, we discussed up to the factors influencing the distribution of population. In this video, we include topics like population growth and components of population change. First, population growth or population change. In context of population, both have same meaning. Both refer to the change in the number of inhabitants. Change in the number of inhabitants, people of a territory, of a region, of any political unit, state, country, during a specific period of time, during a unit period of time, say 1 year, 10 year, like this. So, population growth or population change refers to the change in the number of inhabitants of a territory during the specific period of time. For example, in 2001, India's population was around 102 crore, and in 2011 it increased to 121 crore, about 121 crore. So there is a change from 102 to 121 crore. Roughly 19 crore population we find had increased. This increase, when we say 19 crore, this is absolute number. The same can be expressed in terms of percentage. And when we express the increase in or decrease in the term of percentage, so it will be called growth rate of population. So when population change or population growth is expressed in term of percentage, it is called growth rate of population. It can be positive or it can be negative. Positive growth of population when there is an increase in the total population between the 2 points of time. More often we find the same. But there can be negative growth of population also. There can maybe decrease in the total population between 2 points of time. And such growth is called negative growth of population. India has experienced once this negative growth of population also. If you see the data given in your book, in 1911, India's population was about 25 crore 20 lakh, and in 1921 it came down to 25 crore 13 lakh. Roughly there was decrease of about 7 lakh people. This is an example of negative growth of population. But before that, we need to discuss two aspects: natural growth of population and actual growth of population. Natural growth of population include two components, birth and death. And the difference between birth and death gives the natural growth of population. Suppose if the birth rate is suppose 27.3 and death rate is 9.3. So what we find? There is an increase of 18 people. So birth minus death gives natural increase. But increase of population does not take place only by increase or decrease. Change. Population change does not take place only because of birth and death. We have to calculate migration also. In migration, there are two parts. In migration, coming of people into the region, and out migration, going of the people out of the region. So coming population in migration is to be added, gets added, increases the total population of the region, while emigrating people, outgoing people, they have to be subtracted to know the actual growth of population. So actual population growth we find by taking the difference between birth and death plus in migration minus out migration. So actual growth of rate equals to birth minus death plus in migration minus out migration. So this is all about population growth. Now we'll talk about the components of population growth or population change. How do the population change? What are the components of the change, population change? And already discussed, but here we see the three things: birth rate, crude birth rate, crude death rate, and migration. We have already defined that how birth adds to the total population and death decreases, subtracts to the total population. So what is birth rate, crude birth rate? The raw birth rate. It is defined as the number of live births, birth of live baby, live births per thousand of population, for a region in a year, for a particular political unit, we can say, or state, district, or country. So how many, the number of people, how many live birth per thousand of total population for a particular region in a year has taken place, that is called crude birth rate. It is calculated by using a simple formula: the number of live births divided by mid-year population of that year. Mid-year population, that is estimated mid-year population, multiplied by 1000, because out of 1000 we need to find. So crude birth rate we find equal, crude birth rate we find in this way: crude birth rate equals to number of live births divided by mid-year population of a particular year, that is, and mid-year population is estimated one, and multiplied by 1000, because we need to find it out of 1000. And death rate also we find in the similar way: the number of death of people in a particular year per thousand of population in a particular region. So how many people have died in a region, in a particular region, in a particular year out of 1000, that is death rate. This is also found calculated in the similar way. We find crude death rate equals to number of deaths divided by mid-year population, again estimated mid-year population, multiplied by 1000, because we need to find it out of 1000 people. So number of people that die in a year in a particular region out of 1000 people, that we say crude death rate. And these two are the major components of population change. And the third important population component of population change is migration. Many times we have already talked about migration. Migration is the movement of people across the region of a country or countries. Either people move from one region to another or from one country to another, both are migration. it is when we people move across the region within the country, it is called internal migration, and when people move across the countries, we call international migration. Similarly, when people move out of a region, we call emigration, and when people come to the region, in a new region, we call immigration. So these are certain terminology we have been using. Now, already once I had told two more terms you must know related to migration: the place of origin and the place of destination. In migration, these two aspects are related. People move from one area and finally go to the another area. The area from where people move out, move away, is the area of origin, place of origin, and where they reach to, that is the place of destination. So when migration takes place, it will change the number of total population in both the places, in the area of origin, I mean place of origin, as well as in the place of destination also. When people suppose people are moving from rural area to the urban area, so rural area is the place of origin, and here total number of people will decrease because people are moving out of that region, and urban area becomes the place of destination, their population will get added. So migration affect the total population. Migration, that's why is counted as a component of population change. So these three population components, the components of population change we have discussed. I hope you might have understood. Crude birth rate, that is the number of live births in a region in a year out of 1,000 people. Similarly, death rate we have defined, and migration. So these are the three components of population change. Now, a natural question arises: why do people migrate from one region to another, or from one country to another country? Because the migration bring changes in the population composition. The total, population size also gets disturbed. So why do people migrate? So there must be certain factors for migration, and these factors we divide into groups: pull factor and push factor. Attractive factors and certain negative factors, positive factors and negative factors. As told earlier, that with migration two aspects are related: place of origin and place of destination. People from place of origin move to place of destination. Why? That means there are certain problems in the place of origin, or the place of destination seem to be more attractive than the place of origin. So these factors we divide in two groups: pull factors and push factors. When the place of destination seem to be more attractive because of better job opportunities, educational facilities, health facilities, better infrastructure, peace and stability, or security of life and property, and or climate, pleasant climate, all these can be attracting factors, pull factors. So these factors make the place of destination more attractive than the place of origin. So these are called pull factors. What are those pull factors? Once more, the better job opportunity and living conditions, better infrastructure, peace and stability, better educational and health facilities, security of life and property, and uh, pleasant climate, pleasant climate, political stability. Many factors are there that attract the people from their place of origin, and these are together known as pull factors. So factors which attract the people from their place of origin, and these are, you can make a number of list, a list of number of such items. Now push factor, so just opposite. As so push factors make the place of origin seem to be less attractive than the place of destination where we want to go. And why is it so? Mainly because of unemployment, berozgari, unemployment, political turmoil, political turmoil. If there is any political unrest, problems for a particular group of people, poor living condition, no proper sanitary system or health hygiene system, road, etc. are not available, proper transport and communication system is not there. Then epidemics, certain epidemics uh, that are regional epidemics also become the push factor. Corona is a pandemic, so it has an opposite nature. It has restricted the people where they are. But in certain epidemics like malaria, like cholera, like plague, people don't like to live in that area and people move out from the region. So that are push factor. Natural disasters, different types of disasters are there. That certain areas are drought prone and continuously remain dry. Water, there becomes water scarcity. Certain areas are flood prone and people do not want to live. There is no security of life and property. So natural disaster also play. And social economic backwardness. If there are no ventures of economic development, industries, or for facility of doing some business activities or other economic activities. So because of all these, people move out of a region, and these factors that push the people out of the region are called push factors. So this is an important question, push factor and pull factor. This question I have included in your assignment. You must do it. It is easy with the help of the notes given to you. And thank you in this video. In the next video, we will discuss again the next topic.